Veins. Let's now go from the capillary bed back to the heart, because remember, veins carry blood to the heart, to the heart. They have valves, they have a large lumen, they have very low blood pressure. So we're in the capillary beds, and leaving the capillary beds, we do have what's called the postcapillary venules. Postcapillary venules. And interestingly enough, there is exchange between the blood and the tissues in the postcapillary venules. There, we're going to see migration of white blood cells that can move in and out. Then we go to the muscular venules. And then from there, we go to the medium veins. And the medium veins is really where we see the skeletal muscle play a role in pumping that blood back to the heart, helping to move that blood back to the heart with that contraction, because there's just not a lot of pressure. And we also have valves here. And the valves are forming from the tunica interna of these vessels. Now, this person here has varicose veins. They have blood pooling in their legs. And it has been shown that exercise may reduce the chances of varicose veins or the incidence of them. Then we go from the medium veins, we go to the large veins. Large veins, we have the superior vena cava. Deoxygenated blood from the head and upper extremities ends up in the superior vena cava. Deoxygenated blood from the rest of the body ends up in the inferior vena cava. Both dump into the right atrium. Also, the coronary sinus dumps in the right atrium. The deoxygenated blood from the heart itself, all of it ends up in the coronary sinus eventually, and that dumps into the right atrium. So superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, coronary sinus all dump into the right atrium. The pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins are large veins. Remember, pulmonary veins are carrying blood to the heart, and these are coming from the lungs. They dump into the left atrium, and they have oxygen, oxygenated blood. And then the renal veins. The renal veins are also large veins. Now let's take a look at the notes. So veins, they have valves. They have a large lumen. That's the opening, the lumen. Low blood pressure in the veins, and they're carrying blood towards the heart. Postcapillary venules, there's exchange here between the vessels and the tissues. White blood cells can migrate in and out. Then we go to muscular venules. Then we go to medium veins. And in medium veins is where you're going to see that skeletal muscle really play a role in getting that blood back to the heart. The tunica interna and medium veins forms the valves. This person's showing varicose veins. This is blood pooling in the lower extremities. And again, it has been shown that exercise may reduce the incidence of varicose veins. The vena cava, both the superior vena cava, draining blood from the head and the upper extremities, the oxygenated blood ends up in there. Inferior vena cava, the rest of the body, and the coronary sinus all dump into the right atrium of the heart. The coronary sinus takes deoxygenated blood from the heart itself. Pulmonary veins. Remember, pulmonary veins are going from the lungs to the left atrium, and they have oxygen. And then the renal veins. These are large veins. Let's try again without the notes. Can we do it? Veins, large lumen. They have valves, very low blood pressure, and they're carrying blood back to the heart, towards the heart. Here's our capillary beds where we have exchange. Postcapillary venules. There is exchange here, and white blood cells can migrate in and out. Muscular venules. Notice the term venule means small. It's small vein. Then we go to medium veins. Here we see the skeletal muscle play a big role in pumping that blood back to the heart. And then remember, the valves are forming from the tunica interna. And then here we see varicose veins. Blood is pooling in someone's legs. And again, exercise has been shown to reduce the incidence of varicose veins. Then we go to the large veins. Superior vena cava, deoxygenated blood from the head and upper extremities. Inferior vena cava, deoxygenated blood from the rest of the body. Coronary sinus, not shown here, also dumps into the right atrium, all three of those vessels. Coronary sinus takes deoxygenated blood from the heart itself, all ends up in there. Pulmonary veins going from the lungs to the left atrium, and they have oxygen. Those are large veins. And then the renal veins. Thank you for joining me.